going on, Jerome? It's beautiful Monday. Birds are chirping and stuff, and it's time for another Vikings news dump. And this week, June 4 through 6, mandatory minicamp, TCO Performance Center Bar and Grill. There ain't no party like a Vikings minicamp party because a Vikings minicamp party is mandatory. That's right. Everybody got to be there, be square, or be fine. And the major question is, what's going to go on with Justin friggin' Jefferson? Now, the speculation has been pretty rampant as of late, and it does seem like seems like we're at the 1 yard line, going to punch things in. Hopefully Kevin O'Connell doesn't call like two tush pushes with Brandon Powell doing the pushing. But with JJ, basically the only negative reporting comes from Florio, which is funny, which we'll get to in a second. But it does seem like they're crossing their T's and dotting their lowercase J's, and something likely will get done. So will it be this week? Will JJ be at mandatory minicamp? Will he have a hold in, which has been speculated upon? Don't know. I guess we will find out. Also, something we will find out. So Vinnie Jr., pride of Brazil, 23 years young, just won another friggin' Champions League with Real Madrid. Now, JJ and Vinnie Jr., they go way back, and game respects game, respect everything, man. And so Jefferson posted on his Instagram, the photo of Vinnie Jr. holding up the Champions League trophy. So just put in context. So again, I'm an ugly American when it comes to sports, but I've really gotten into soccer over the last couple of years. And my team, Liverpool, they had a chance to beat Real Madrid in the Champions League final a couple of years ago. Didn't happen. But we won it 6 times. All right, so Premier League here, La Liga here, Bundesliga, blah, blah, blah. But Champions League is up there like a step below the World Cup. World Cup is obviously numero uno. Champions League is number 2. Say probably the Olympics for soccer is number 3. It's a pretty far drop off. But Jefferson, so he wants that. He wants what Vinnie Jr. has. And Vinny's, 23 is one of the better wingers in the world, and he's fantastic. He plays with style. He plays with flair. Does that sound familiar? And with Jefferson, this is what he wants. He wants to play at the highest level. He wants to win silverware. He wants to win trophies. And in the NFL, there's only one. There's only one. All right. So Jefferson does indeed aspire to greatness, and you are the average of the 5 people you hang around. And if JJ's consistently hanging around with a Champions League winner, we'll take that, man. We will. Also, so speaking of Florio, foreshadowing, per Persuasion put this together. Per Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, there's a possibility that contract extension takes place today, between the Vikings and wide receiver Justin friggin' Jefferson. Quote, our guess is that it will be sooner than week 1 and sooner than the start of camp, as soon as, frankly, tomorrow, end quote. Now, this is a pretty common journalistic thing. As soon as tomorrow, as soon as next week. So what he says here, as soon as tomorrow. So today, June 3rd, and will be sooner than week 1. So September 10th or something like that. So basically June, July, August, September. So he basically gives himself a 100-day window. Be like, aha, called it, nailed it. So I don't know. Will something get done? It'd be kind of awesome. Frankly, it would be a great way to start off mandatory minicamp, where they announce the extension, great press conference, and a practice. Bow, that's Justin Jefferson's music, and he gets back to where he wants to belong amongst his teammates, and just putting on a damn show. That's right, man. Also, show. So, Schefter, a resolution in the alleged free agent tampering cases of the Atlanta Falcons and the Philadelphia Eagles is likely to come this week, per league sources. Now, we said this a bunch. I'm not holding my breath for the Vikings to get anything from the Cousins situations, but again, it comes down to either the Falcons were habitual line steppers and they tampered with Cousins, having their trainers and medical staff and public relations staff in contact with Kurt beforehand. And also, it would make sense. He's coming off an Achilles. You want your medical team to get a look at that before you give him the bag, which they did. 4 years, $180 million, $100 million guaranteed. Or Kurt Cousins is lying. And think of what you will about Kurt. Liars not among them, right? So I think that even though the punishment might be muted, since the Falcons CEO Rich McKay is the head of the competition committee. Will there be a fine? Sure. Will there be a docking of draft picks? Sure. But Schefter did note that he thinks that this case is more severe than the Eagles and Saquon Barkley, formerly of the Giants. So it'll be interesting. Like, maybe the Falcons will get docked a second-round pick. Now, will that pick go to the Vikings? Probably not, because I think there was zero goose egg D'Angelo Russell chance of Kurt re-signing here in Minnesota. And also, where else was he going to go? I mean, the Falcons really were bidding against themselves. It's so stupid, but either way, hopefully they get hammered, and hell, maybe the Vikings get a draft pick swap out of it. But like I said, wishful thinking. Whatever happens, happens. Also, so happy birthday, Christian friggin' Darrisaw. Belated happy birthday, B-Day on Sunday, June 2nd, 25 years young. As he heads into year 4, looking to stay healthy, knocking on all the wood. Physically, he can be the best left tackle in the game. I truly believe that he's a beautiful blend of size and power and length and speed. He's great in pass protection. He's a bulldozer in the run game. He is a complete left tackle, and the Vikings are very fortunate to have him. And also, hey, how about dual extensions? I mean, Kwesi just really puts it on the table. JJ, the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Darrisaw gets taken care of as a left tackle. Let's go. Let's go, man. Speaking of let's go, so Jake Reed. I always like Jake Reed, man. And so even though the Vikings had Chris Carter and jumping Jake Reed, they still drafted Randy Moss in 1998. But Reed was always such a good teammate. Like, he never had any animosity towards Randy or Chris when they were putting up their numbers. He worked with Randy Moss quite a bit. And, I mean, Jake Reed's great, man. I tweeted this out. Nothing quite like the satisfaction of slamming a Packer into the dirt. Where I don't think that's code, but yeah, just absolutely putting up numbers, man. And Jake Reed had a great career. So he had 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons from, I think I'm going blind, 94 to 97. Nailed it. Again, so I had to increase the font size on my phone, and I feel like it's just over. I mean, just give me a jitterbug telephone, the flip phone, and then put on some Matlock and just call me for supper at 4 o'clock, because I feel like as you get old, you start calling it supper. I don't even think it's a Midwestern thing. I think it's just as you get old, it's an age thing. It's a demographic thing. Come on, Mom, let's go to supper at the Denny's at 4 o'clock. But yeah, 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons, and Randy Moss came in and played more of an ancillary role. I mean, Jake Reed is fantastic. I think he is one of the more underrated receivers and players and team players in franchise history. Also, so we've said this a bunch. Kevin O'Connell is a phenomenal hat model. I don't know what it is. I mean, handsome, but also, I mean, like, I don't wear a hat as good as he does. Like, I'm just trying to. He just gets the brim. But like, it wouldn't shock me at all if one of the athletic train or one of the equipment staff is fully dedicated to bending Kevin O'Connell's brim. I don't know, but as we said, the team should run specials on whatever gear he's wearing at a press conference, because every single presser I watch with Kevin O'Connell is just like, man, I should really buy that. Well, if you complain enough, sometimes they listen. So this isn't one for one what I was suggesting, but the Vikings getting after it. Like, so obviously, on the gram, on social media, follow a lot of Vikings players, follow the team, follow a lot of stuff like that. But this was the first Viking-specific ad that I remember. Now, get a lot of Fanatics and Foot Locker ads that has Vikings gear and stuff, but this is the first team-specific targeted ad I've seen on social media for me. So they're listening. And I'm pretty sure if that's not the same hat, it's very similar. So it's got the purple brim, sort of the washed out logo with a bold outline. I mean, yeah, that's got to be pretty close, right? Also, New Era on the side. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be it. All right, so they're listening. Also, maybe that's from Alexa, because she's always listening too, man. I've said too much. But speaking of gear, so the Vikings may be on their way. So Andrew Lind of sportslogos.net tweeted this out. According to multiple sources, the Minnesota Vikings will unveil their new winter whiteout alternate uniforms on June 7th. So that is, it's not Saturday, right? No, Friday. Ooh, even better. So on Friday, they will announce the whiteout uniforms, and they tend to use them around the holidays and potentially prime time. Also, Andrew Lynn, sportslogos.net, Chris Creamer's site, fantastic. They do great. I'm kind of a logo and uniform nerd, but I'm not like all in. I'm like 75% nerd in that spot too, right? And even though the Vikings are bereft of primetime games this year, I mean, the white's always good. The white on white, and I'm glad that the NFL approved that third helmet rule where it's just so stupid. Where it's like, oh, we're worried about player safety because if they wear a different helmet, it may not fit right and blah, blah, blah. Well, get multiple helmets that fit. Also, I mean, it's not like these helmets come out like indestructible, man. It's not like they're made of adamantium. I mean, after some games, there's some wear and tear. Like maybe there's a decrease in functionality, and sometimes a new helmet makes sense, right? But what I do want to see is the in the dark room. No, that doesn't make sense. No, that's not the song. But I want darkness on the edge of town. Like I want the black helmet. I want the black uniforms. I want to look like Mankato State University Community College adjacent. I want it. I need it. And it was sort of teased during the schedule reveal, which, by the way, so enough time has passed. Now, I respect everyone at Vikings Entertainment Network, but in terms of ranking the schedule release videos, the Vikings were bottom 5 in the league. I mean, first off, I don't believe Hawkinson would be Steve Jobs because he went to Iowa. That's all, but it's okay. But either way, white uniforms. I mean, these are not the specific ones. These are just mock-ups done by W Design, which were leaked by CT ESPN, which they've been generally pretty good about the uniform leaks. Everything else, no, maybe not so much. But these look pretty sharp, man, even though they basically look like Northwestern. Is what it is. But mandatory minicamp this week. Lots of stuff going on. Vikings news up for this beautiful Monday. You guys are the best to do. Crush it this week. Skol, production value.